Well, hello, YouTube world, video fam, and Rumble. Hope everybody's doing alright. This is Mike Owens, Big O's Moto, make the two strokes straight again. As you can tell, it's been a while. It's been about a half a year I haven't been on here. Been busy. Hope everybody's doing well. Haven't shot a video in a while. Done a little riding this year, but not a lot. Today's video, as you can see, we're no longer in the garage. We're out in the shop. It's still under construction. I've got everything in place, but still got to insulate the walls and put up OSB around the walls, and that way I don't freeze to death out here this winter. I hope you can hear me. I got a fan blowing in the background because it's hot. The air conditioner's over here in the wall. It's not putting out. I've got to get some coolant put in it. Anyway, today's video is to show you a little bit of the shop. You can see bikes are behind you. It's a wall. The Nichols worth of advice for all those out there that work on the two strokes, ride two strokes, and do your own wrenching. I've had an issue for the last couple of months with this CR250 leaking coolant. Coolant's coming out the exhaust port onto the floor here. And I couldn't figure out why or how to stop it. I changed gaskets, I put new O-rings in the fathead racing cylinder, and that didn't seem to help. Got on social media through the Honda CR pages on Facebook, and everybody gave me their opinion of this is what you need to do. And I even had some that got into a debate over how to stop a cylinder head from leaking. They tend to disagree with each other. So I followed their advice to start with, and that didn't work. When I had the cylinder done at Rat Racing in Texas City, Texas, I can't remember, it's been over a year and a half. I don't know how much he milled off the top of the cylinder to make it smooth and flat. If he did, I don't know. It apparently had a lot of warpage, a lot more than I realized, because I went from an OEM cylinder cap to a Fathead Racing cylinder cap, and even sanding the cylinder head down, it didn't stop leaking. I took the Fathead and reached out the Fathead, and they told me, said, it should fit right up. There's something wrong with your cylinder. Then someone told me to take a piece of plexiglass, which I had, and 80 grit sandpaper, which I had, and sand the top of the Fathead cylinder cap. And I did 4 or 5 times, and it still would not stop leaking out the exhaust port. What's happening is when you coolant leaks internally down into the cylinder where the piston is, you get moisture inside that combustion chamber, and when your carburetor injects fuel into the combustion chamber, and then you throw in moisture, well, that kills your spark from mixing with the gas, when your spark plugs through your gas and firing the engine. It wouldn't fire. So anyway, sanded the cap down several times, did not work. I pulled the piston off, took that same piece of sandpaper on the plexiglass and laid it down in this floor right here, because I know it's flat, it's a brand new building. And I sanded it, colored it with a Sharpie pen, sanded it 10 times, flipped it 180 degrees, sanded it 10 more times, put it back on, put the cap back on with the new O-rings, and it's still leaking. Okay? I've already listened to everybody's advice. Their advice didn't work. So this is why I'm on here today. I went on to O'Reilly's.com, O'Reilly's Auto Parts, and did my own research to find out which sealant I could use. So, because bars leak, if you've never used this stuff works. They make several different kinds at different prices. There's another brand, it's like $70 for a little jug, not much bigger than this. So I went with Bars Leak head gasket sealant, stops all coolant leaks. Blown seals, blown head gasket, cracked heads, and other hard to stop coolant leaks. This is $17. Best $17 I probably ever spent on this dirt bike, because it's hard to ride something it's not firing correctly. The way this stuff works, you have to flush out all the coolant. This stuff does not mix with antifreeze or what's that stuff called? Blue ice, whatever that stuff is. Engine ice that they run in dirt bikes. This does not mix with coolant, so do not pour it in your radiator with coolant in there. You have to drain all the coolant out, take your water hose, and flush it out. Get it all out. It's just nothing but water. You take this, and I took a old gallon jug of that antifreeze comes in that was empty, and you mix this with 3 quarts of water, warm water. Can't be cold, gotta be warm. I just filled it up for a full gallon. It's good enough. This is designed for, as you can see on the picture right there, this is for 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, and 8-cylinder engines. If people have a leak in a regular car or truck engine, we're talking about a 2-stroke or 4-stroke motorcycle engine. Flush it all out, then you shake this up, mix it with a warm water, then you fill your radiator up, start the engine, turn the heater on, which that's for cars and fans on high. Run the engine for 10 minutes or until thermostat opens. Well, I just hold the throttle up just a little bit, and sit there with my hand on the throttle because I didn't have the idle set correctly. The bike wasn't even running correctly. For 10 minutes, shut it off. Okay, you shut it off. Let it cool off. Let's see here. Turn the vehicle off and allow engine to cool. Allow enough time so to safely open the cap. Open the cap and top it off again. Run it for 10 more minutes with